Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about my baby must-haves. If you don't know me or if you're new, my name is Courtney and I have three sons. One is Easton. He is going to be 4 years old in March. My second just turned 2 and my third is 3 months old. So I wouldn't say I'm necessarily an expert, but I definitely have a little bit of experience. And I would like to say that I'm mostly a minimalist whenever it comes to all the baby gadgets and things like that. And we also try to keep our budget in mind. So if you're interested in something like that, or if you know someone having a baby soon and you want to get them the perfect gift, then keep on watching. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is going to be feeding. Now, I was not blessed to be able to feed my babies by breast, but at the end of the day, fed is best. And I formed a relationship with Dr. Brown's bottles. A lot of people get super annoyed because the bottles have a lot of different parts that have to go into it and stuff, and that's because they're anti-colic bottles. So there's this long straw that goes into the center and it helps prevent air from getting into the nipple while the baby is trying to drink. So my first tip with these is that you only need to get these. Don't waste your money on the 4 ounces. I understand where these would be useful if the baby is still really young and drinking 2 to 4 ounce bottles. However, they're not going to drink that much forever. So whenever they get to 6 ounces or 8 ounces, then these are the ones that you're going to want to grab. So those 4 ounce smaller ones are just going to be pushed to the side. So if I were you, I would spend the money and just get the big ones. With pacifiers, every baby is different. They're all going to want something different. All of mine enjoyed these types of pacifiers. They're the Soothies. I believe they're by Event. And that's fine. Don't think that because your oldest child took a certain pacifier that the second one will take that one as well, because that is not always the case. Every baby is different. They all have different needs, different wants, and ultimately the size and the shape of their mouth is going to be different as well. So go ahead and buy a couple different ones, see what the baby likes, and then you can purchase several more of those and donate the rest rather than having 1,000 pacifiers of the same brand. Another thing are these, they're like baskets that you can put into the dishwasher, and they hold all of your bottle parts or your pacifiers, things like that. They're going to hold them in there so that they don't go to the bottom and melt or anything like that. I was always the mom that would boil everything. That would boil all of the parts of the bottle religiously. But I guess by the time you get to your third, you're just kind of like, is this necessary? So I found this at Target. They also have them on Amazon. I haven't really checked Walmart or anywhere else, but do your research and find a cheaper one. Anyway, these are super helpful to wash all of those Dr. Brown's bottle parts, because that has been one of the biggest complaints that I've seen from people. And then the bottles also come with a tiny, almost like a pipe cleaner type of brush that you can use to really get inside of the straws of the bottles. So I'll do that every once in a while, probably like once a week, just to make sure that all of the milk and things like that are out of it. Another thing to add is the grass. It looks like grass. They're grass dryers. They help air circulate in the parts of the bottles to make sure that they're good and dry so that there's no molding that can happen, or any type of moisture that would gather in the bottle and cause any type of bacteria to form and make your baby sick. So I definitely suggest one of those as well. A godsend has been these little, it has a little bit of formula in it from last night, but you see how it works. So they're like this. They have 3 compartments on it, and you just take your formula, put however many scoops that your baby's going to need in it, and put the lid on firmly, and then you can move the lid to whichever compartment that you need. Open it up, take your bottle, and just put it like this and give it a good shake. And it has been such a lifesaver in the middle of the night because I'm not half asleep trying to scoop all this formula out, put it in this little tiny hole, and pray for the best. It's a timer especially, and it's also super good to carry. It's also super good to carry in your diaper bag. Wyatt seems to be going to the bathroom right now. So, on that note, let's talk about diapers. Now, wipes, I've never really had a preference with. We usually just buy whatever's cheaper. The Parents' Choice Unscented has always been pretty much just our go-to. That's really what I enjoy. Now, there's 3 different types of diapers that my boys have all worn. One is the Parents' Choice, the Loves brand, and then also Huggies. I love Huggies. It's near and dear to my heart. They're super soft. I feel like the babies are comfortable in it, and they're very absorbent. My favorite part is this stretchy band that goes around their back, and I just feel like you're able to put it snugly on the baby without feeling like you're pinching any of their, little baby fats or anything like that. So I love those. So the Parents' Choice is actually super similar to the Huggies. They're probably not nearly as soft, but they do have that waistband, and they have that similar texture. I think that the Huggies, you don't have to change nearly as often. I'm also one of those people that I want to get my money's worth out of these super expensive diapers. So I let them have like maybe 2 or 3 peas in it before I change them. Please don't report me. I feel like that's normal. But if they poop, I do change them. Anyway, so I definitely think that the Huggies are a little bit more absorbent than the Parents' Choice, but the Parents' Choice are a great price point if you're looking to save on a budget, and you can get them in bulk at Walmart. Now, the Huggies brand, now, the Loves brand, I really enjoy these as well, but they are very paper filling. They feel a lot more like paper. They kind of have this weird texture to them. I will use these. I will use them. And I think that they're great as far as like absorbency and stuff like that. But I hate the way they feel, and I hate the way they smell. It's like they have some kind of scent to them. Not even like they've added perfume or anything like that. But it's just, it's like a tampon. I hate it. But if I have these for free, then that's what I'm going to use. I don't worry about it at all. Once the babies get a little bit older, around, usually I think about 8 to 10 months, I start to introduce a sippy cup just so that they get familiar with it. And then around 12 months, I try to make the transition from the bottle to the cup. So these are our favorite cups. These are by the Nook brand, and this one has been used. It has some water in it, but they're by the Nook brand, and they have these cool little stoppers, I guess you could call them, inside of the cup of the sippy cup, and that makes them absolutely leak proof. I've tried a billion of cups, and any of them that are like soft, they have like a soft spout, it just, my kids will figure out that they can push them down and sprinkle them out and stuff like that. So I try to steer clear of anything with a soft spout. These have been 100% leak proof for me, as long as they don't get broken or anything like that. And I have some really rough boys, and I think I've only ever had one to break, and that's it. So these are definitely a lifesaver. With that, you can buy these stoppers if you were ever to lose one. I had a few that got a little bit moldy, and I believe it's because they weren't getting dried out the way that they needed to be. So that's another thing with that grass mat. You can definitely use that as an option to keep these dry as well. Anyway, these, they're like replacement packs on Amazon, and they're really great and pretty cheap, so that you can continue to use those cups and you're not wasting any money. Let's talk about clothing. I fully believe that comfort comes first. I don't put my babies in blue jeans whenever they're little newborns. That is my biggest pet peeve that I've ever seen. I usually try to make sure that they're warm, because that's one of the most important things, is maintaining body temperature as a newborn, and also convenience. I love sleepers and I love gowns. My first two boys were a little bit bigger, so it was difficult for the gowns, because I felt like this part would like cut off circulation to the bottom part of their body whenever I would pull it up and try to put a diaper on them. But Wyatt was, he was in the NICU, and he was a significantly smaller baby. So he was 6'3" whenever we brought him home. And gowns like this were awesome. I felt like he was warm and snuggled up, because of course I was swaddling him as well. But also, I am such a fan of these types of sleeves where you don't need mittens, because frankly, they're just going to pull them off and throw them around. So either use socks or find these kinds of sleeved sleepers or gowns. I think that that's just so awesome. It keeps their hands warm, and it keeps them from scratching their face. I believe that Target has a large selection of those. A lot of the ones that we got are from Target. Next up, I love to swaddle my babies. I always feel like it makes them feel warm and protected and like they're still in mama's tummy. And these muslin blankets that you can get from really anywhere. I think these were also from Target or Kohl's, something like that. They have this really nice soft fabric. They're breathable. I don't feel like they're going to be too heavy or make them sweat or anything like that during the night if they get too cold. And they're also super stretchy, so you can do a great swaddle on the babies with them. Another thing I'd like to add is the sleep sacks. I think they're great whenever the baby starts to roll and stuff like that, and they're in their cribs, because it doesn't allow, let me zip it up here. Their arms go through the sides here, and then obviously their head right here. It doesn't allow that blanket to come up over their face, but they can still be warm, secure, and snuggled in a little sleep sack like this. I think that's one of the greatest inventions I've just ever seen, ever in my whole life. As far as toys and other gadgets for the baby, I would just say to keep it minimal until they are at that age where, you know, they can bounce in a bouncer or something like that. I really like to put my babies in swings. I feel like it kind of gives them something to do, something different to look at, and they love that motion. Um, we had a really huge swing with my first two boys, and it was great. It was from a flea market, awesome deal on it. It worked great, but it took up a lot of space. Here in this house, we wouldn't have that issue, but in our other homes that we've lived in, it was very cramped and it just seemed like it was a giant eyesore in the living room. So I want to show you the one that we got this time, and it was actually gifted to us from my husband's grandparents, and they found it on Amazon. It has pretty decent reviews. I haven't had any issues with it so far, and that's with my 3-year-old and my 2-year-old trying to get in it and sit in it and thinking it's a rocking chair.
Say hi. So this is by, I don't know what that is, but this is by Fisher Price. And this is what it looks like. It's super small and compact, and it also folds up. The seat can go in a lot of different positions, whether you want it to be more of a cradle like this, or they can set up. And then you also have the swing option. It swings back and forth. It has music, and you can adjust the sound however you like. And it also has vibration, and Wyatt really likes that one, don't you, Betty? You like it? It kind of puts him in this trance. But he just loves that he swings all the time. So it has this safety strap, but it also has the ones back here that go over the shoulders. But he doesn't really move yet, so there's no need for that at this point. And this whole thing comes off so that you can wash it as well. You like it? Is it fun?
All right, guys, that's all I have for you. If you liked this video and if you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe. I have a lot more stuff up my sleeve. And also leave a comment down below if you have any questions or any product recommendations to everyone else, or just you want to show some love on my page. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Whoa.